In this video, we will continue on with the Chart.js array access, and this part we're going to start and go a bit more deeper, making it a input box here. So basically we have right now this, and we could even here adjust this by putting here something else. Let's say we have here number 12, we put in this, we say week 12, save that and refresh, and right now we have this, and if we press on this, we show this, and if we press again on this, we move more to the right. We could go back again by pressing this, we're going back here. And this is quite fun, quite functional as well, especially if you start to have this month, or you want a specific date you want to compare, or the year 1, 2, 3, 4, etc, etc. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, instead of this, I would like to explore with an input, because that's probably something that you might want to use as well. So we're going to put in here, and what we're going to do here is an input. And once we have this input here, I will give it an ID. This input will be week value, for example. And oh, that's not necessary. And then here, of course, we will put in a button, and this button will be the activation of whatever we are activating, which would be eventually the function. But we won't do it with an on click. We'll just say here ID equals show, I guess, well, not show value, or move, or display. I have no idea right now what I'm display value. I'll just give it display value, although watch out with your naming conventions here. This is not really the best way to name this, or this should be maybe a submit or something like that. Alright, so what we're going to do is, while we have this here, and this will be input type number. So we have these here, and we have this one here as well. I'll make in here a HR for a horizontal line, and I'll say here submit the value. We have this here now, and now we have a submit button, basically an input. Alright, with numbers, we can go up and down. Perfect. So what we'd like to do now is the following. We're going to get here, and we say here a constant. We're going to grab the item here. Well, this should be maybe submit. That's fine. Very straightforward. So constant submit would be submit, so get a document, which means to get it in the HTML document we are in here, then get element by ID name. And what is our ID name? Well, it's submit. And once we did that, we need to activate this. We say submit dot, and then we say here we're going to connect it with the show data trigger. So we say the following, we say submit, and then here in the submit we say here add event listener, meaning that we're going to add up a connect with a function. Is the moment we click on this, we should trigger the function show data. And that's basically what we're doing. Oh, data with letter D. Alright, so once we have this, I'm going to remove this, so the buttons will not be activated anymore on click, because here we had the arguments values in here, and now we don't have any parameters, because we will grab it from the input the moment we have the input here, and we press on submit. So we say here new constant, and this constant will be, what is the value here, number week value. Alright, that's the ID name. So we say here constant week value equals document dot get element by ID, and then we say here what's the ID name? Well, week value including the capitalized V. If you look at here, was it capitalized? Yes, our ID was capitalized here, so copy that one. Alright, so then we get here, and then of course we want to say here dot value. We want to extract the value here, so the week value eventually will be in here, and then we can say here plus value, max value would be eventually whatever we have here. So it's plus this, plus 4. Alright, so once we save this, this will update again, and now we should have expected, let's do here 1, let's say if we're going back. Oh, alright, we're going here, but there's something not working as expected. Let's double check here our max value. Our max value is the week value plus 4. So what we can do here is just to quickly check console.log, what is the week value currently. So if I save this, refresh, and now press submit, alright, open up developer tab, And oh, of course there's no value, so let's say here number 5, submit. Alright, so we get here number 5. So number 5 plus this makes it 9. So week would be max value here. And then I don't see here the view issue, so let's double check what's going on. Alright, so after some checking, I realized we have here a tiny issue. So let me show you here what's the issue. We will do console.log here, and then we say here the max value. We're going to grab that max value, and then you will see that here we have a tiny issue. So if we do here, oh, let's do this, number 1. And if I do 1, it will get the first value and then up to value 14, which is not what I wanted. And the reason why it becomes 14 is it doesn't see it as an integer, it sees it as a string. So basically what's really happening here is this week value is 1 plus 4 in a string would be 14. There you are. So that's what it is. So what we can do here is int val, and then we put in this. Now we say here int val. Let's try this. Refresh, put in 1, submit. Oh, int val not defined, or maybe it's int. Let me double check. Alright, so after some checking, I realized int val is not for JavaScript. This is done for PHP. So sorry about that. We need to use the parse int, capital I. Once we do that, basically what we're doing is we're going to ensure that the value we have here is converted into a integer. Once that happens, it can calculate itself, and then it will grab the value here. So let's save that, refresh, and then if I say here number 1, submit, as you can see, it starts to adjust it here, and you can see here as well, I realize. So what you see here is you see this number here, number 1 is gray-black, while the number 5 is a number. And the reason why this means that it's an integer. Basically, it indicates here that this number here that we insert here is just a string. It already makes sure. And the moment it becomes blue here in the console log, you can see this is a integer. So that's basically what I did. So now if we put in this here, we can submit. There we are. We go up again until we have the very highest value. And once we hit, I guess here max. All right, there we are. Of course, we're not able to go anymore because there's no more values. But we can keep on going back again. And with this, you can play around with it, and it's quite useful as well, especially if you have a large data set with month, year, etc., where you want maybe people to click or to just submit here based on their value input here. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in Chart.js, check out in the description box the link directing to my Chart.js course where you can learn everything about Chart.js. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.